Today we have with us Dr. Nishikant Ojha, who is a cybersecurity expert and who is advising uh, foreign governments on cybersecurity and national security issues. Dr. Nishikant Ojha is going to throw some light on electronic voting machines. Dr. Ojha, welcome and thanks for talking to National Herald. So, how foolproof is the EVM technology that we are using in India?
See, when we are talking about EVM machine, first I would like to tell you that lot of rumors and lot of gossips are going for the EVM machine, particularly in India. Now the thing is that as of now, if we see EVM is safe, it's safe for the Indian scenario. But the only thing is what I am feeling is that when there is a technology, there is a flaw. When there is a coding, there is a decoding for that. So when there is a technology, it doesn't mean that it's a highly foolproof and nobody can tamper it. But it all depends upon the situation to situation. When we are talking about an Indian scenario, so as we came to know that it's basically it's taken care by the bail, and then ECL is there, and it's a very you can say a very simple mathematics which is there. Technology, when it comes in contact with an external environment, then there are chances of hacking, and then there is a chances of getting it tampered and something like that. But when we see about our EVM machines, which are particularly running in India, what I can see is that they are highly protected. So when it is a protected device, things can happen before that. But when it is under the high securities, I think nothing. If you are able to tamper with the microprocessor or something like that, when the EVM machine got evolved before that, so the chances are there. But when I have gone through the entire scenario in India, it's not like that. BAIL basically takes care of, and BAIL import the microprocessor chips from Japan. They are embedded in the control panels and the display, and they are without any, you can say, they are not in contact with any external environment, just like a kind of a black box. So when machine is a black box, so chances are very, very rare. But if that black box comes in contact with the external environment like internet, or they get in contact with some kind of a machine which do the tabulation or something like, then there are chances for that. So EVM, as of me, it's a simple mathematics to control device. One is the control panel and another is the display board. Control panel is basically programmed, which is having a microprocessor which is silicon and which is basically imported from India. And I think was before getting it implanted in that particular control panel, it is around 60 to 70 times. Basically, they recheck that. So when it is recheck, so and there is a technical expert committee also, which basically takes care of these kind of things. Nothing goes hanky panky there, and something it's highly protected in according running to the parameters of the Indian Election Commission, something like that. So that we cannot say that it's a kind of a machine which can be tampered, or it can be tampered only when it comes in position of a physical, and something if it is done before that means fraud can be done if the microprocessor is coming from, the chips is coming from Japan. So if they can code it, so it's something like, it's a very simple mathematics. See, you have got a machine, so you program everything. If suppose I press button 1, so the machine has to do this. If I press button 2, the machine has to do that. So it's nothing like that. So it's all depend upon the programming before. But once the program has been done, nobody can tamper, nothing, and as of me, it's highly protected. So, but what I am seeing is that now a lot of political parties are coming up with this kind of issues. It's I will not name them, but not here also, in across the globe also. So Netherlands was there, and then even the Denmark was there, and they just totally, you can say, banned that EVM machine, because now the thing is that there are always pros and cons. Netherlands, Denmark, they can do that because they have got a less population. But when we are talking about Indian, it's very impossible to control. We've got a huge mass here. So we have to take precautions for that. And even when I was discussing this issue with one of the counterpart in Russia, and they told me, sir, I mean, we need to just prove the credential of the technology. If the machine says it is yes, okay, I agree. But what is the credential? How you will accept that it is yes? So that is a big question mark which is coming on the face of EVM machine here. So what we can do is that there are other ways also just to satisfy and to prove the credentials of the EVM. I'm not doubting on the government. I'm not doubting about the bail. I'm not doubting about the ECL. They are doing good job and they are working according to the national securities and the Indian sovereignty. They are maintaining those things. But the only thing is that when we are talking about the EVM machines, so we cannot overrule. We cannot say no. This is a machine which cannot be tampered, nothing can be done. It is not like that. See, US was also that. US also was there, and I believe that when we talk about the US, they are, you can say, much more advanced than us in the national security and other things. Do you think if they are so strong and they are taking so much due diligence, they are doing so much due diligence, why would have that 9/11 would happen? So there is always a chances of error. But yes, as of till now, I don't believe that in EVM. Because in EVM, what is going on is there, I mean, there's nothing, no calculation, no mathematics, no physics, nothing is there. It's a simple two-control device, connected, and it is segregated. It's not connected with internet. Once it gets connected, like in US, it is connected through cloud. So there are a lot of hackings. There are a lot of other things which can happen. But in India, I don't think it is much possible unless it is done beyond the microprocessor chips get embedded in that particular machine. So if the government, I think government is not doing anything wrong or something like that. They are taking these measures and they are doing all their best. But we should have some kind of cross check, or we should have a kind of other alternative which basically proves the credentials of the EVM and which removes these kind of a rumor and the big question mark which is coming on the EVM machine.
Sir, you said that EVM, they cannot be tampered with unless they come in contact with an external environment. And Indian EVMs, they are not connected to the internet. Exactly. So is there any other way that, they could come in touch with an external environment, say through radio waves? Because there has also been some rumors about these things.
No, so when we are talking about that was about the VVPAT. So what they basically say, that machine is exposed to the sunlight. And when it is exposed to the sunlight, there are chances that the microprocessor and the chips is compromised, not malified, but technically. When heat exposes that microchip, so it's sometimes the functionality, the coding get disturbed, and it started behaving in abnormally. But I don't think it's very much possible here, and we can tamper it from the wireless because it is just like a black box. It is not connected anywhere unless we get it connected to some device, or we want to show, or we want to do something like that. Once it comes in contact, I'm just taking inverted commas what I'm trying to say. Machine is never it's not something that machine is fully security proof. Never. No machine. If there is a technology, there is a flaw. If there is yes, there is no. But only thing is that how the degree of the confidence or the degree of the risk, how much it's minimized. So that is about the EVM. I told you they are importing the microchips. Bail is there. Bail has got, it's a PSU. It's got the credential. And Bail is operational in these kind of activities much more before this government and that earlier government also. So we cannot blame anybody. The EVM machine had been compromised in this particular government or in that particular government. But technically, see, what I wanted to tell you, because I'm working with the national security issues and the cyber issues also. And in some of the blogs, I've also written that Middle East countries, and when we are talking about the European parts, our two big brothers who are there also, they are all having an eye on the Indian political system. So they are very much concerned in comparison to us also. How much we are concerned, they are equally concerned that. And they are watching everything. They would try to do other things, but EVM they cannot tamper. Unless the microchip which is coming from some other country and they say, okay, do the coding like that. And it's very simple. See, I told you, coding can be done in A, it can be done in B way, it can be done in C way. I want to achieve my objective. So if I want to do something, I want, okay, now the machine, you behave like this, A. Machine will do that. He doesn't understand. It's a coding program. But about the EVM, what I'm trying to say is that when we are talking about the EVM, we have got a TC here, and they have this expert committee is having a lot of intellectual persons, and who are, you can say, have got deep insight into all kind of issues. So their inputs are there. And I presume that there would be some kind of a benchmark also which is taking care of this EVM machine, because I'm not very much concerned. But when you're talking, I'm giving you this interview on the capacity of the technology only. So when you're talking about the EVM machine, I don't think so. Is there any kind of flaws? And but I would also suggest the Election Commission, and I would also suggest the other people also, who are the stakeholders. You have to create a kind of a credential extra parameters, which basically gives more strength into this EVM and avoid these kind of a rumor. See, machine is calculating, machine is taking everything. He's calculating, he's passing that data to you. Now when that data comes in a positive way, okay, machine is behaving very nice. But when the data comes in a negative way, machine is being tampered. So for that, you need to create a kind of a mechanism which basically takes care. And as of my research, what I did my postdoctorate in artificial intelligence in 2012. And that time nobody was aware of the AI. But AI is something like that, which basically this machine is also thing like an AI only. But it's a dummy machine. So as of me, no, I don't want to blame EVM. I don't want to put any question mark on the EVM machine. But yes, chances of error is everywhere. See, it's a common thing. And you also know that when we solve a particular problem, it can be, so it's always there. So
how can we allay the concerns? मतलब जितने कंसर्न्स अभी ईवीएम पे उठ रहे हैं उसको कैसे हटाया जा सकता है? एक तो वीवीपीएटी का सजेस्ट हुआ है, तो और ऐसे क्या हैं चीजें जो हटाए, मतलब जिससे कंसर्न्स जा सकते हैं?
When we are talking about the other corrective measures which should be taken in consideration for this avoiding these kind of rumors, what I say is that they should create a kind of a system like VVPAT. Now the question is that the government says that I cannot afford, I cannot provide the VVPT machines, or I don't know. But if such kind of a mechanism is embedded with that, like when I went to the polling station and I pressed, I want to see also whether my transaction got completed or not. What I did, it came or not, or it went somewhere else. That is the question mark which I think is there. So why don't we create a kind of a mini VVPAT machine, or provide a VVPAT machine there? So once he press, automatically a manual receipt is generated, and which shows that yes, you did, and this is the outcome. And that one copy can be dropped there in the box, and the one copy should be carried by the voters also to keep, okay, I have done this. So it will all avoid all the legal complexity and everything. And it can be done. It's not something like that. You go to the shops also, you pay, and automatically they entered, and they press, and the machine and the receipt generator. That's a kind of a mechanism which should be followed here. VVPT is something, there was issues, I was going through some of the issues that the box of the VVPT machine is made of a plastic modular, and when they is exposed to the heat, so it's compromised. And that has been taken, I think I was reading somewhere, so that has been taken by the bail, and everybody has done this. But to overcome these kind of issue, a kind of a dummy machine should be kept aside by the polling booth. We should give the manual receipt also. Why not? Why? It's something I paid. Okay, give me receipt. I want to see I have paid. What is the credential that I paid? So it's not something like that which the government cannot do. They can do. And that will avoid all these kind of clouds of rumors which is prevailing upon this government, earlier government, and previous government. And it will give a kind of a good credentials about the EVM machines. So it's not, and it's not very costly also. That can be it's a kind of VVPT, mini VVPT, you're putting it somewhere, all the polling stations.
एक आखिरी सवाल है कि EVM के अलग-अलग मॉडल आ रहे हैं, कंटिन्यूसली अपग्रेड हो रही है टेक्नोलॉजी. EVM 1 आया, EVM जनरेशन, सेकेंड जनरेशन EVM आए, फिर थर्ड जनरेशन EVM आए, और अब बात चल रही है फोर्थ जनरेशन EVM की. तो इनमें क्या डिफरेंस है और ये क्यों लाए जा रहे हैं? क्या ये कंसर्न्स के कारण लाए जा रहे हैं या इसका क्या मोटिव है?
टेक्नोलॉजी इज डायनेमिक, it changes according to the requirement and it changes according to the, you can say, the peripherals on which we are living. So अगर हम ये बात करते हैं कि क्यों ये टेक्नोलॉजी चेंजेस हो रही है, I want to say that not because some kind of malified intention is there, it is because to ease the system. Population बढ़ रही है, लोगों के पास टाइम नहीं है. अब अगर हम शुरू से अगर ईवीएम मशीन की बात करें तो पहले क्या होता था कि शुरू में हमारा फिजिकल होता था. हम जाते थे अपना पेपर पे हमने सिग्नेचर किया, वी पुट इट एंड वी फोल्ड इट एंड पुट इट इन द बॉक्स. लॉट ऑफ चांसेस ऑफ एरर वाज देयर. आई हैव सीन माई सेल्फ कि पूलिंग बूथ को कैप्चर कर लिया. अब पूलिंग बूथ तो कैप्चर इस पे भी हो जाएगा क्योंकि अब मशीन है, मशीन को तो पता नहीं कि आपके क्रेडेंशियल्स क्या, जो भी खट डालेगा वो हो जाएगा सारी चीज़ें. बट दैट इज़ अ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन. आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट. व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द टेक्नोलॉजी, पहले पेपर बैलेट आया, फिर डायरेक्ट रिकॉर्डिंग एविडेंस आया. अब क्या आ रहा है, जैसे अब धीरे धीरे लोगों के पास सिस्टमेटिक चीज़ें, अब टाइम की स्कैरसिटी है. OMR आ रहा है, मीन्स यू कैन जस्ट, आपको उस पर एक OMR, आपको एक बार कोड मिलेगा, आप उसको स्कैन करो, अपने मोबाइल से करो और इमीडिएटली वो स्कैन करके आपको डिजिटाइज कर देगा, सीधे आपकी पोलिंग रिकॉर्ड हो जाएगी वहाँ पर. तो इस पे आई डोंट थिंक, बट अनलेस इफ वी नो हाउ द मैकेनिज्म, व्हाट आर द पैरामीटर्स. एंड इंडिया में मुझे नहीं लगता कि इंडिया में तो हमें वही ब्लैक बॉक्स की जरूरत है अभी भी. ये जितनी टेक्नोलॉजी हम कॉम्प्लेक्स करेंगे, जी टेक्नोलॉजी कैनॉट रन इन आइसोलेशन. अगर हम एक टेक्नोलॉजी को एड ऑन, उसमें वैल्यू एडेड सर्विसेज डालते हैं कि अब आज तक तुम ये कर रहे थे, कल से तुम्हें ये करना है, तो उसके लिए हमें हर तरीके की फैसिलिटी उनको प्रोवाइड करनी पड़ती है. माइट बी, अब जैसे अगर आप बता रहे हैं 3rd जनरेशन 4th जनरेशन की आ रही है, दे हैव टू गेट कनेक्टेड थ्रू सम काइंड ऑफ इंटरनेट और सम काइंड ऑफ क्लाउड. अगर उस पर आता है, I don't think that has to be studied. But in Indian context, and it's not a matter कि we are not technology savvy or something like that. It's basically what is our environment. अब नीदरलैंड, डेनमार्क, मैंने 2011-12 में आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस पोस्ट डॉक करी थी. वहाँ पर उस समय AI पे काम करता है, लेकिन वहाँ पर आज भी वैलिड है, वहाँ पर आज भी फोल्ड पेपर वाला डालते. क्यों? दे डोंट वॉन्ट दीज काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन मार्क्स. ठीक है, टेक्नोलॉजी को तो हमें कहाँ, किस तरह और कब यूज़ करना है, ये हमारी कॉल है ना. इट्स नॉट मैटर कि हर जगह हम टेक्नोलॉजी को इम्पोज करते चले कि नहीं अब 2M थी, अब हम 3M ले आएंगे, हम 4M ले आएंगे. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट फॉर दैट. सो अनलेस आप जितनी टेक्नोलॉजीज को ऐड करेंगे, कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी बढ़ती जाएगी. वो चाहे कोई भी गवर्नमेंट हो, A हो, B हो, C हो, और उसको मैनेज करना बहुत मुश्किल है. जब सारी चीज़ें आप टेक्नोलॉजी के हाथ पे डालते हो तो वो सम टाइम इट विल स्टार्ट बिहेविंग इन ए इंडिपेंडेंट वे ऑल्सो, क्योंकि हर जगह तो आप उसको मॉनिटर नहीं कर पाओगे. तो दिस इज समथिंग विच आई वांट टू से कि आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज एनी नीड. हमारा EVM ब्लैक बॉक्स चल रहा है, बस उसके साथ क्रेडेंशियल्स आप करो, उसको क्रॉस चेक लगाओ, लेट पीपल सी कि मैंने वोट जिसको डाला है वो गया कि नहीं गया. वो चेकलिस्ट उधर से रिसिप्ट निकालेगा, दैट 1 copy ही विल कीप इट एंड 1 copy फोल्ड इट, साइन इट एंड गिव इट. 2 credentials checked. ड्यू डिलिजेंस हो रही है. एक आपका फिजिकल का डायरेक्ट एविडेंस रिकॉर्डिंग हो गई और एक आपने फिजिकल भी साइन करके दे दिया. और इसमें कोई, इट्स नॉट समथिंग कि बहुत टीडियस एक्सरसाइज है, हो नहीं सकती. इट कैन बी डन वेरी इजीली.
Thanks for talking to us. Thank you.